As a tax professional, it's not only important to be technically competent at providing advice to clients, but you also need to be able to consider non-tax factors and the wider impact of suggested courses of action. The Advanced Taxation UK and variant exams are intended to be as commercially realistic as possible to help you develop your skills in this area and to ensure you understand what advice is or isn't appropriate in a given circumstance, along with how to provide practical and plausible recommendations. At a basic level, commercial acumen is about demonstrating awareness of the wider impact that your recommendations may have, appreciating the non-tax factors relevant for decision making, and showing insight as to the purpose behind certain rules and regulations. There are a number of ways in which commercial acumen may be examined in the Advanced Taxation exams. A question may require you to use information within the scenario to provide realistic and commercial solutions to problems, taking into account other relevant practical considerations. This could include demonstrating an awareness of the internal and external constraints relevant to a given scenario. For example, you may be asked to state the reliefs available to an individual with trading losses and explain with supporting calculations the tax which could be saved under each option. Explaining each type of loss relief and calculating the tax saved would earn you technical marks here. To go on to obtain a commercial acumen mark, you would need to consider the losses in view of the individual circumstances as a whole to identify whether there are any constraints or opportunities available should a certain loss relief be chosen, or whether one option is less desirable. For example, where you are told a company is primarily concerned with cash flow, it would be less desirable to recommend an option that requires a claim for loss relief in future years, as this would delay the cash flow advantage for the company. Another example of providing realistic and commercial solutions to a problem would be where your firm has been asked to take on a new client which trades in an industry that they have not previously worked with. You would therefore be expected to explain in your answer that your firm should consider whether it has the professional competence to take on the engagement. In addition to discussing the ethical considerations of providing this advice, your answer should recognise the external constraints and opportunities regarding the use of knowledge obtained from advising other clients. Another way commercial acumen may be examined requires you to take a forward-looking approach to your answers, recognising the possible consequences of past and future actions, and that there may be multiple areas impacted as a result of your recommendation. For example, in the UK Advanced Taxation exam, you may be asked to discuss the implications of making an election to exempt the profits of an overseas permanent establishment from UK tax. You would therefore need to relate the election to the implications for the company going forward in your answer. For example, that it would apply to all future overseas permanent establishments. You may also be required to demonstrate a broad awareness of the purpose behind a particular area of legislation, or the wider consequences of a chosen course of action. For example, in an Advanced Taxation variant exam, you could be asked to calculate and explain the capital gains tax and stamp duty on two different types of land transactions given in the question. To gain the commercial acumen mark, you would need to make an attempt to explain why there are different rates of stamp duty for different property types. Commercial acumen will be available in all Section A questions, but may not be in every Section B question. The requirements will always specify which professional skills are relevant to the question. It is worth noting that in Advanced Taxation, commercial acumen does not entail having a knowledge of or awareness of tax issues which go beyond the scope of the syllabus. To summarise, in order to demonstrate the professional skills of commercial acumen, your focus should be on following the specific instructions provided in the requirement and providing full and reasoned answers, using any additional information from the question to help you identify any broader implications of the advice you were given. Make sure that you watch the rest of the videos in this series and use the ACCA practice platform to develop your answers in order to display good professional skills. Good luck with your studies.